Hello, in today's video I am going to share some new decks like this one that came into my collection last November and December, so at the end of my no buy year, bought with my own money but not as a break in that no buy year. These were bought for my children to wrap up and give to me for my birthday and Christmas presents, and I was thinking about it and I haven't shared any of them, so I thought today I would do just that. Also, I got prompted to this video from one of you lovely lot who asked what this deck was, so we're going to start with this deck, which is called Floriography. It's a deck all to do with the meaning of flowers, and I think it was a deck designed initially for people interested in using the Victorian language of flowers for making flower bouquets. I found this in the art centre in Wales where my caravan is, and I was just really interested in it. I've never seen it anywhere online. It was only $14.99. However, they were on sale at $9.99 in the art centre, so this was less than £10. And you can see it's literally all about the language of flowers. I love the colours on the box. So this is a super cheap deck, but it is fantastic. Now, one of my goals for this year is to work more with plants in my spiritual walk, in particular flowers as part of that. As you know, I'm a gardener. I love flowers. So when I saw this, I was really curious, and for the cost it just seemed a no-brainer. It's borderless images, matte cardstock, and you can see on the back there is some really quite good information about the meaning behind the flower. So it's symbology, whether it's linked anywhere to myth or mythology, how it's been used or viewed throughout history as well, and based on all of that you get a keyword as well. So although it is a learning deck, it can very much be used as an oracle deck as well, which is how I've been using it. Definitely fantastic for using all of this information. Like this hellebore, because it's toxic, it was used as a poison. It's also been used medically to treat madness in history, and it's linked with the idea of scandals and lies. However, it does have a lighter side of not just surviving lies, but actually thriving in the dark depths of winter. So it's also about hope and endurance. And this is one of the cards that I pulled on a reading to do with being lied to, believe it or not. So this message behind this card was just fantastic to add into a tarot meaning. You can see here the information card says, from orange blossom for chastity to yellow roses for infidelity, flowers have been used to convey messages for millennia. Many even have mythological creation stories. Did you know that calla lilies grew from the Greek goddess Hera's breast milk? So you got all sorts of information like that, and it gives you it so that you can compose your own secret messages with flowers, or to use it as a divination deck. So I am absolutely loving this deck. Let me put a few images out to show you, and there's lots of cards in here as well, and they are these gorgeous sort of oil painted images. So if you love flowers and if you love flower art, then I think this is a fantastic deck, not only for knowledge as a learning deck, but as a divination oracle deck. Once you've read the back of the card, you've looked at the keyword, it can add such a lot into a reading. I mean, look at this art. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at it. So look, sunflower health. You've got the common name and the Latin name. If you were interested in either planning a garden or planning floral bouquets, it gives you good ideas of what to pair it with. So it's multi-purpose and just incredibly beautiful, I think. So this was a super cheap mass market deck. Like I said, I found this in the Arts Centre in Wales, but I am certain you could get it elsewhere. The publishing company is Lawrence King, so there's all the information of that, which is a London-based publishing house. Oh, you've got gorgeous roses there, look, different colours. So the yellow rose is platonic love and the pink rose is grace. Just so gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so I have really enjoyed this deck so far. I think it is a little unsung hero of the flower deck world. I really do. Let me finish with a red rose, which is romantic love. So that is my first birthday and Christmas deck that I want to share. Floriography, the meaning of flowers. Okay, the first of the indie decks that I want to share is one that was on my wish list literally from the very first moment I saw it. It was one that went right to the top of my save for list, which is what I do with indie decks. I save for them through the year so that I can have one for my birthday and one for Christmas. And again, we're in the realm of flowers. One of my favourites, roses. This is the Lioness Oracle Tarot, which I ordered this from Little Red Tarot, so I bypassed all the import, tax and shipping costs, so that was really useful. It comes with this little white book. Now this one I haven't used yet. I have flipped through it a few times and I've shuffled it, so it is out of order. I just wanted to show you the box. Look at that, the box and the lid. Isn't that just gorgeous? So that's my favourite type of box, a two-piece sturdy box with thumb cutouts. It's got this gorgeous gilding, so a really matte kind of gilding, and these amazing backs, which is literally how I would like my garden to look. So this is a collage deck, so a collage deck with roses. It honestly, for me, doesn't get any better than that. I love it. I love the white borders. That kind of gives you that space to breathe with the images. But I think this is just sublime. I mean, just this one image here alone, just absolutely sublime. This reminds me of the Strength card in the Witch's Wisdom, which is a stalker card for me. So I love seeing that. I mean, it is absolutely stunning. I love this High Priestess card. You've got David Bowie as the star, which is just fabulous, and I love it. I have realised that this deck and the other indie deck that I'm about to show you is sitting unused on my tarot shelf. Both of them are sitting unused, I should say, this one and the other one, and it reminds me of what I found when I did my unused deck wise, and I realised that when it comes to decks, oracle or tarot, I very much save them for best, although I'm not a saving for best kind of girl. And I think it's because it just feels like such a luxury to have an indie deck, and it's just something that I never ever thought I would allow myself to have. That it just feels so special. When I realised I was about to share another two more expensive decks that I hadn't used again. It just reminded me of that video and realising that that's what I do. And I've thought again about the reasons why I don't use these, or I'm reluctant to use them, and it's because they're so special. I'm saving them for a special day, and the ordinariness of the everyday, I keep thinking to myself, oh, it's not special enough to get this deck down yet. Oh, it might be a bit grey outside, it's not special enough. Or oh, I've got like laundry to do, it's not special enough yet. And I'm waiting for the day to be special enough, because of how much these decks mean to me, which is ridiculous really, because every day is special, whether we've got laundry or whether it's raining outside, it doesn't matter. I love this Queen of Wands with the paint palette on. You know, every day should be realised as the gift that it is. So yeah, it was just, and yet again another reminder to not save for best when it comes to tarot and oracle. And I think it's probably because tarot and oracle is the place where I will save money and spend significant money for me on a deck that isn't mass market. So yeah, I'm just not used to it. I'm not used to doing it. So yeah, I've just got to get these decks down and use them now. I absolutely love that Two of Cups. I love it. So this just fills my soul with joy. I love collage decks. I love the roses in here so much. There is just something about roses. I just love this imagery. So that is the Lioness Oracle Tarot, a really much loved birthday present again for myself. So if that was the birthday present tarot, then what deck did I buy myself, indie deck did I buy myself for Christmas? And it's another rose one, guys. It's another rose deck. So this was bought in the mid of winter, and it just seemed a long way off before the roses would be back. And oh my gosh, one of you guys sent me a link to watch Sandy Humby being interviewed, and the way she spoke about spirit of place and flowers and nature resonated so deeply with my own personal beliefs and practice that it led me to Sandy's website. I had been buying from that point onwards her rose essences. This is her The Way of the Rose 333 essence. So I was a fan of Sandy, and when I saw this oracle deck, oh my gosh, it went immediately right to the top of my want list. So it just seemed like a absolute no-brainer for this to be the one that I got for my Christmas present to myself. Again, bought with my own money, and look at it. It is stunning. The guidebook looks like this, and again it's about voices held within flowers. And again, it's one that is out of order because I have got it out and flipped through, but I haven't actually worked with it yet. Saving for best, guys. I need to stop. You can see it's got gold gilt edges. The backs have words on, which isn't everybody's cup of tea, not necessarily mine. I love this image, however, but the fronts, oh my gosh, the fronts. I'm not sure yet what all of these mean because, like I said, I haven't worked with it yet, but I love it. Look at this. Isn't it so stunning? This one looks very much like the rose that I've got in my garden. I am going to have to take you guys to the David Austin Rose Garden, which isn't super close to me, but it's not impossible to get to on a day out, because I would like to get some more roses this year for the garden, especially because of this deck. So it's also, images like this reminds me of the work of Georgia O'Keeffe, who I'm doing a real deep dive on at the moment, reading books and studying her art, and everything just feels synchronicitous. It's all kind of coming together. Last week was the week that I opened the garden gate again, and I'm beginning to see new shoots come on the roses, which I cut right back. For the first time ever, I trimmed the rose bush and cried because I thought I'd cut it back too far, because it had gone leggy over years of me not pruning it. So I pruned it right back this year and thought I'd killed it, but shoots are coming out on it again, so that has filled my soul with joy this week. So it just seems like a lovely time to share this deck, and I cannot tell you how happy this makes my soul to see. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. There is something so sublimely beautiful about roses. So I can't wait to share more about my flower work with you this coming year and through the summer. I can't wait to share more working with this deck and how I work with it. It is incredibly special. What a huge treat. I mean, look at that, I could just fall into that. So that's it. Now there is one more mass market deck for the fourth one that I treated myself to. The fourth one is not quite so much flowers, it is more nature inspired, and it was inspired by watching Meg over at Rose Honey Ritual. It's one of her favourite decks, and it is this one, the Nature's Wisdom message cards. Now there are 70 cards in this deck, which is brilliant. It's by Scott Alexander King. It's by AD Publishing, and when you open it up, they're not actually in here because I'm actually using this deck. That you can see how dinky and tiny they are in the middle. I'm going to reach onto this desk next to me. I'll put a picture in of some of the readings I've been doing with this deck here. It is absolutely fantastic. I am so surprised by this deck. I can't even tell you. On the backs you've got the message, and then on the front you've got just a keyword and a photographic image. First of all, I was surprised how dinky darn cute it is and how tiny, but I thought, oh my gosh, it's so tiny I'll never be able to shuffle it, but it just shuffles like a dream. And I just couldn't believe how nicely it shuffles. Like, if you compare it, you can see how tiny it is, but it still riffle shuffles beautifully. So that was the first thing that surprised me. But secondly, when I actually just started using it, it was out and I'd been playing with it and shuffling it, and it was with a deck with the Chrysalis Tarot that it doesn't really match visually, but because they're such dinky cute little cards, I decided just to pull clarifier cards over the message, and it blew me away. It literally blew my socks off, like so dramatically. The messages were so on point as clarification messages. There was no way around it apart from saying it was like pure magic. So I then left this deck out and tried it with another reading, and then another reading, and then another reading, and it hasn't been put away since, because every single time the messages that this deck has added into a reading has quite literally blown my socks off. And I have just been astounded by it. So what I thought would just be a nice 70 card addition to my collection, because I'm looking at photography decks a little bit more because I didn't have any, and I was thinking it would be nice to get some. What I thought would just be a really sweet little addition, really good value, 70 cards, has turned out to be this absolute magical tour de force coming in, which is just so lovely. I mean, I've literally only been working with this deck for a few weeks, and already I'm looking at these cards thinking, oh, remember when I pulled that for that one, and oh my gosh, there's magic in that card. It is it's fabulous. So I can definitely see now why this is one of Meg's all-time favourite decks. It has secured itself very quickly with me as being right up there in one of those decks that I don't think is going to be put back into the cupboard. There are a few decks that just stay out, easy to grab, because I know I'm going to want them. This is one of those decks already. She's just fabulous. So that is Nature's Wisdom message cards by Scott Alexander King. An absolutely tour de force of a deck. So guys, that is it. That is my sharing of my birthday and Christmas presents from me via the kids to myself. All sort of natural flower type decks, all just really fantastic and magical. I just love all of them. I hope you found that interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.